Welcome to the George Jett Show. Tonight we have DJ Dekade is our guest tonight. So we're going to be asking him a lot of questions about taking your career to the next level, your DJ career to the next level. So let's go ahead and talk to him right away. What's up, Mr. Decade?
What's up? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I'm doing good.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Shaka Khan,
Yep. Happy
all that good
Kwanzaa.
stuff. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
Yep.
Is it a happy Hanukkah? Is it happy Hanukkah or just Hanukkah?
It's Happy Hanukkah, yeah.
Happy Hanukkah? Okay. Well, happy
Yeah.
Hanukkah. Decade. So, you've been a DJ for a long, long time, and
Yes, I have.
you are now taking your DJ career to that next level. I am intrigued. I want to know what's going on. What are you doing?
Well, as far as the DJ here in South Florida, there's thousands of DJs here, and there's pretty much a dime a dozen right now. And I see all these other DJs getting great gigs, and then I'm still I have work, thank God, and I'm thankful that I work, but I want to get better gigs and better work at better venues, work at better places, and play more of the music that I want to play instead of just playing top 40 open format music. So I decided to take my career to the next level by going to school for production and learning production and remixing mashups and also music production. So I made my own tracks as well.
Okay, so you're going into creating music. So now you're not just going to be just your DJ, but you're also going to have music that you're playing that you created. And I believe you're going to put that out in where? Into like
Record pools,
record pools?
DJ
Okay.
City, Club Killers, all these different record pools that are out there. So I'm gonna put those out as well. And
Now,
all the record pools.
are you doing that for extra revenue because you can make money off of that? Why exactly is it that you want to do that? Aren't you just
Well,
making local
because I
gigs?
I know a lot of DJs and producers out there, and I see that the DJs that are producing that have tracks out there or record labels or have their own tracks out there on Beatport or whatever are getting these major gigs, playing in festivals, playing different places instead of just a regular DJ. Because anybody can go DJ, but if you have tracks out there, you see more lucrative in your on your resume as well, that you have, let's say, 20 tracks out, and charted, on Beatport, charted on DJ City, or charted on Club Killers, whatever. You're more able to look better to a booking agent or a promoter than just a DJ.
Got you. Okay. Sorry, I was looking down. I was trying to solve the issue here with the comments to make sure
That's
they
okay.
were coming in. Um. So, so, so you think you can make obviously more money because you're showcasing that you don't only DJ but you could also produce music,
It's
right?
not just about making money. It's more about, well, it's making money, but also playing, at, let's say, EDC. Let's say, traveling, touring, being more of a touring DJ, going different cities and playing, different clubs, different festivals. That's what I want to do. That's my goal.
Right. So by producing music, you can get to that level.
I I think so, and my teachers has also, become, a major touring DJ and producer as well. I'm going to Wired Sound Academy, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Landis is my teacher. So he's also on Spotify. He's also got a lot of tracks out as well. Check him out, Landis Official, on Instagram as well. He's a great teacher. Wired Sound Academy just don't do production; they do DJ classes as well. So it's a Wild Sound Academy for Lauderdale.
Okay. And by you taking that level, why did you wait so long in your DJ career to go to that next level?
Well, and I didn't wait so long. I tried this before in the past twice, and I stopped going because I just didn't feel the class was proper for me, and also my mindset wasn't at the time right to do it. And now I feel that my mindset is at the right space to expand my career to a different level.
Okay. I'm going to refer back to money as far as money because to me, I mean, if you're going to take it to the next level, you have to make more money. So,
Of course.
once you get to that level where you're producing the music and you go to venues, how do you walk in and say, I'm charging you more because I'm a bigger name DJ now. You're getting a DJ that has a following or that produces music. I'm not working for the same amount of money that I did before.
Correct.
Especially if I'm uh, investing money in my career to learn how to produce music. So, how do you factor what you would charge a new venue for you
Honestly,
to be
I
there?
would have to get more advice from a talent agent, from buyer, from a booker, from a broker to find out that information. But
Got it.
I can't say that right now how much I would charge because I don't know. I
No,
don't
no, no.
have hit track.
Right. I'm not saying exactly what
Have
you would.
hits out there right now. I don't have a hit track out there that's
Right.
got 10 million views or 10 million downloads that people
Right.
are calling me to book me because of that one song.
And I guess
So
at that level, once you're creating multiple songs, you're gonna have a management company to manage
correct.
you because you're not gonna be picking up your own calls and making your own bookings.
No, correct.
Right.
You get a talent buyer or broker that helps you as well as certain record labels that might pick up a track that can help me as well. So that's where I'm focusing on.
Right.
I'm still gonna
So
DJ, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to elevate myself in my career.
right. So once you go into the transition over that you're producing the music, once these
Hmm.
venues hire you as a DJ and they say, okay, we're I don't know, open format, which is what everybody throws in,
Yeah.
you're gonna go and play what style of music? Are you gonna play your music or are you gonna play the same radio music that's everybody knows? In
Well, I
other
mean, if I'm walking into a club that's an open format club, instead of a house club or a house music club, I would have to play stuff that's on the radio that people know, of course, because that's what open format is. Plus, I would also play my stuff,
right,
whether it's an open format remix or a mashup that I made or an edit that I did. So if you're playing open format, I mean, I know all these DJs that are producers that still play open format music, but also play their stuff as well, like Mr. Gray, like so forth and so on, that are playing open format, but also playing their stuff.
hmm. Wow. Um, what what style do you have? What's your style? What is it that you're looking for? What's going to be the definitive view of Decade? What are you going to be playing? What style of music are you looking for?
I'm looking to do house music,
Okay.
but
So
not just not like some deep house, tech house, bass house. Maybe a cool edit or something. But that's what I'm looking to do is more house music than anything else.
right. So there's a lot of venues that you're going to be able to play, but then your typical open format venues, they're probably going to say no because that's not what's in the industry right now.
Correct.
I mean, at least for South Florida, it's going to be mostly Latin and hip hop and, dance music, but not too much of the house music. So your average or the majority of the clubs or lounges are out of it, they're going to be below you. You're going to be looking to perform at bigger venues.
Correct. That's what I'm looking. That's why I'm trying to
Right.
do this. I'm looking to perform in bigger venues and get more money.
Right, right.
Performing at a place like 11 or Space or EDC or somewhere in Vegas or somewhere Chicago, New York. You know,
Okay.
I would love that's what I would love to do, of course.
How many you've taken? How many classes already?
6.
Yeah, and
I have
how
4 more to
many?
go. I have 4 more to
4 more to
go.
go. And then once you, I guess, graduate, do you are you able to do everything you need to do, or now it's more of creating, learning and putting the practice into your mixes?
It's I'll be able to do what I need to do, but it's also, of course, every time you do something, it's more practice for you that you're perfecting your craft. Just like DJ, when you DJ, 1,000 times, you perfect, your certain things, and you're DJing. There's always things to learn. There's always new stuff coming out. There's always a new sound or a new instrument or something like that that maybe Ableton will plug in that comes out that can do different sounds, different things with. So that's always going to be growing your sound library, your plugin library. Just like when you DJ, you're downloading music. I'm downloading music every day. So it's like I don't stop. Looking for stuff or looking for this and that. So
Got it.
my sound is going to be house music, of course, but that's what where I want to focus on.
All right. I'm gonna pop in a couple of comment there. Is there any way you can bring yourself up a little bit higher? Keep your eye level near mine there, because I'm gonna pop up a couple of questions. It's gonna cut off your mouth. We got a
Okay.
question from Lydia. Lydia says you will be able to play bigger venues, more money, but once you say you also produce music, they will hire you and want to pay you more.
Correct.
Right. Right. Yeah, and again, you're playing that style of music, whatever style that you choose, and the venue can't say, by the way, we're a Latin club, so play reggaeton, and you playing
Right.
house music. Guess what? You're not playing reggaeton. You're playing whatever, um, whatever they hired you for. You're not really playing for the
Correct.
crowd. You're playing as your set, a fixed set.
Correct. Correct.
Because most DJs, that's what they do. They have a fixed set. They just do it verbatim
Yep.
down the list,
Yeah, of course.
and they don't care if people what they're doing. They're doing their set the way it is.
Yeah, they're doing the set. They're getting paid for whatever, and that's it.
Yeah. Lydia says right now house music is the rage again in places like New York.
Well, even here, I mean, there's certain places, certain venues you can play certain tracks. I mean, like A Craze "Do It To It" is the biggest track in the world right now. Every venue in the world, every DJ in the world is playing that, just like Pepas. It's the biggest track in
Right.
the world right now.
Right. It seems like it's the only track people are playing now. Francie says as long as it's sexy and a beat. Oh, sorry, and the beat wants to make you move. Yeah, no, obviously, yeah. All house music usually makes you want to move and dance. So going away from the prepping yourself. So mobile DJ, played a bunch of places, went to school. Now you going to school to elevate
Again,
you to the next level. Um, I'm gonna wish you lots of luck on your new
thank
career,
you,
because that's
thank you.
technically a new career that you're jumping into. I know you're gonna still do mobile gigs, but in the meantime, you're gonna be going to that next level. So let's get away from that for a while,
Hmm.
and talk about current stuff, current mobile DJ stuff. Um, John and I were talking about, and I also talked to DJ Giovanni
Yeah,
Hernandez.
Giovanni. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about club owners,
Hmm.
and one of the things that I've always had a problem, or not a problem with club owners, is that based on all of the events that you've done, clubs, lounges, um, not private parties, okay,
All right.
and not
Hmm.
clubs, just regular
Hmm.
lounges, restaurants, bars,
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
How many, in a percentage, because I ask him this same question, in a percentage, give me a percent. How many times has management given you a list of things, of specials to read out?
0.
Okay. That's more of what I kind of say. It's almost non-existent.
0%.
Right. He said it's a coin toss. That's his exact words. It's a coin toss, which to me
Who
that's
said that? Giovanni
50-50.
or John?
Giovanni.
Okay.
John didn't really tell me, but he believes that that management usually does give you a list. I don't. That hasn't been the case to me. Um, how many times or percentage of the times have you gone to management and said, "Hey, I'm a DJ. I have a microphone. I could make announcements, or I could sell whatever product it is, or sponsored vodka, or whatever it might be." But you're basically saying, go to the bar right now for $10. You're gonna get a shot of
Maybe
Patron.
5%.
5%.
Maybe for me, 5%.
Okay. For me is about the same or even less. But yes, 5% is very low. There's only been very few clubs that had actually given me a list of specials. Um, we've talked about this many times where we go into a club
Mm-hmm.
or a lounge and they're already paying as much as they humanly possibly can pay, right? And we're like, give me $50 more, give me $25 more so I can be a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
But they just seem that they can't pay anymore. My question to you is this: have you needed to approach the management and say, "Hey, by the way, got a microphone here. I can announce the drink specials. That's going to actually pay part of, of you hiring me. I'm an expense to you now. Let's try to recoup that money back." Not in those words, but you're going to say, I'm going to sell 20 drinks and you're announcing the thing to get, to get the money back. Have you had any experiences with that?
No. 0.
So you don't go to the management and say, "By the way, give me the list or give me your drink specials. Let me announce it."
I may have done like one or twice, like a long time ago, but after that, like no.
And
If they don't ask me, if they don't come to me, ask me,
you
hey,
don't
can you
ask,
announce it? I don't ask. No.
right? So if you put yourself in the management shoes, if you had a DJ that approached you and said, "Hey, I'll make announcements for you to recoup some of the money that I'm here for," how would you feel as a manager?
I feel like, hey, the DJ wants to help me.
Right. So let me ask you this. So again, now I'm shooting it back to you. Why wouldn't you approach the manager and say, "Let me make some announcements"? If you feel that way, if you're the manager, now you're back in the DJ shoes. Why wouldn't you go in there and say, "Hey, let me make some announcements"?
Because my job is to DJ. Okay, if they wanted me to say specials or whatever they want me to say, they would come to me and say, "Hey, Decade, tonight we have these specials. Can you please announce them for us?" Sure, no problem. But if they're not asking me to do that, my job is to come DJ and play music. My job is not to go ask the manager what the specials are, go ask the cook how the food is, and stuff like that. My job is a DJ. That's how I feel.
Got it. Yeah, I like to ask these questions, and like again, I ask these questions to many DJs, and I will be asking that same question to other future guests because
Right.
I want to get into their brain to see how they think. I personally love to go to the to the venue and say, "Hey, I'm not just a DJ. I can make announcements and I can advertise your drink specials."
But are they paying you extra for that?
No, it's not that they're paying me extra, but that makes me different than every other person in there. In other words,
Yeah.
I'm not just going into the venue and playing music.
Right.
I'm going to the venue and also looking for his bottom line, increasing his
Correct.
bottom line so I'm not an expense. So he
Right.
can say, "Hey, um, George at least sells bottles. No other DJ here sells bottles."
Right.
See what I mean? And it's not something that takes time off of you.
No. But let me ask you a
Because,
question. So I'm gonna ask you a question now.
yeah.
So let's say you sell bottles or you sold liquor, alcohol, whatever you sold. You sold more drinks than what he's normally sells for when you're there. Has the management ever come to you and said, George, you know what? We sold, $1,000 more in alcohol because of you, blah blah. Thank you so much.
No,
Here's
it's
or
no. I know where you're going with that. No, they're not going to go and say we made $2,000 more. Here's $100 tip. They're not going to do that. Um, the
why not?
agreement. Well, it's because it's not agreed. If I talk to the management and say, listen, if I sell 10, 5 bottles, I want a percentage of it, and they use my code, and it's agreed upon, then yeah, absolutely. If I sell
But has
five
anybody
bot,
has any manager ever said thank you?
no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But what I'm saying is that you're looking at it now as the venue, and I'm looking at it as if you're a working DJ. You're trying to secure yourself at that establishment.
Right.
And if George comes in and says, "Hey, George sells 5 bottles of liquor,"
Right.
plays the same music Decade does, but Decade
Hmm.
comes in and he just plays music, doesn't sell anything, I'm going to
Right.
remember George. I'm not going to remember Decade. You see what I mean? So
Hmm.
you're also securing something because you're taking to a next to something else. You're making them a little bit more money.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess I
and
understand.
it's just really a question. Maybe management question. Francis says maybe management is so busy they haven't thought about asking the DJ to offer anything. I like the idea; makes you offer specials. Again, yeah, most managements are so busy they don't
Yep.
care. They don't let the DJs know. Um, and I've tried it both. I think I brought it up. I've been fired from a location because they thought that I was passing out free drinks, um, and and I find out later on that one manager was covering their ass and they just blamed it on me because they didn't want to take the blame. um, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically I
I
think
know
I've
the
said
story. I know the
right. You
story.
know
Yeah.
the story, but
Yeah.
since there's audience people, new audience people listening to it, I'll just briefly say what it was. We set up a half a pitcher of colored water, basically a little bit of vodka, colored water, meaning curacao or some sort of blue color, green color, whatever it is, and we passed out half a pitcher of shots, and all the guests were really happy. Guests were happy because they were getting free shots. The shots that whole half a pitcher cost them maybe $4. I mean,
If
there's
that. If
if
that.
that, right? So I've made 12 people very happy that the DJ or the venue that they went to, they got shots. Remember, these are
Right.
watered down shots. They don't care. It's late in the night. Um, Everybody was happy. I was happy. I was actually encouraged and motivated because people were actually smiling back, and my music actually got better because I had the vibe going. And then obviously the establishment or the management didn't know the whole story, but I technically got fired because of that.
Right.
And it's so silly that somebody would do that.
That's bullshit.
Um, Let's see. Francis says those shots were a good measure. Yeah, yeah. It's just nice to take it to that. Let
Yeah.
me see what other questions I have. How do you prepare for a club gig,
What prepare?
music wise?
Honestly, I really don't prepare besides downloading music every day. I really don't prepare. I don't like sit and arrange a set. I don't put stuff together like say, okay, I'm gonna open with this and start to play with this or this and that. I pretty much download music, go into put it into a folder I need to put it into, and I go off to the gig and play. I'm not one to prepare a set or create a set. I pretty much know the venue I'm going into because I've played there so many times, and I know what the crowd is, and I just play, off that, and I play with what I have with my library. But as far as preparing stuff, I really don't prepare. That's me.
That's you, right? So another thing, you're one of the DJs that actually goes out and not only does a good job DJing, but you also create flyers. Not you personally, you have a company that does
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and you also get videos taken of you
Hmm.
performing, and you give that to an establishment. How does the
Hmm.
establishment feel about that?
They really don't care.
They
They really
don't
don't
care.
care. Honestly, they don't. They comment and say, "Oh, great video" or this and that, but they really don't give a shit.
Right.
I'm doing it for myself, not for them. I'm doing it
No,
for
I know.
myself.
I know. And that goes to show you, Francie, that we were just talking. She was mentioning about management's too busy.
Hmm.
Decades videos that he creates, he hires a company to go in and create really really nice videos of the establishment, people having fun, and the establishment just doesn't really care. So it just goes to show you that the DJs are just basically human jukeboxes. They just need somebody there to change the music whenever they need it. They
Yep.
really don't care what else you bring to the table.
But there are some places that I have worked that do care about the DJ, that do really respect the DJ, do really put the DJ sort of like on a pedestal
Right.
compared to some other
Could could
places.
could you get yourself on a pedestal and come back up to eye level?
I'm not. I thought I was out of those. There you go.
No,
Is that
you're
better?
going down, down, down. Yeah, there
That
we go.
better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Go further up.
So
Go further up. Put your hat past the. That way, when you start shrinking, you don't. There we go.
better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So there have been venues where like they don't really care. I mean, you don't have to mix; just play song after song after song. They don't care, and they say, "Okay, bye, have a good night," and that's it, and you leave. But some do appreciate the DJ, but it's very rare,
Right.
very
Uh,
rare.
we have an old question here. Steven says, I see it's a small way to enhance. Actually, it's a smart way to enhance the experience. He's talking about the shots.
Oh.
And then we have an old question here. Lydia says, so Decade, when you get to bigger venues like Space, will you prepare your set?
Honestly, probably not. I'll probably do the same way that I play normally. I'll of course have my tracks that I'm gonna produce and edit and remix and mash up in those crates. But as far as preparing it, I mean, it's just not me. It's not how I do. I just download the music, I throw in Serato, and I just go and play. And I play without even hearing the track. I might hear it from when I downloaded, but that's about it. I don't practice it. I don't know it, so it's like I've George has seen this where I would just go and throw a crate, and I'm like, I never heard these songs before in my life, and I just throw them in there and mix it. It's like it just works for me.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think once you get to that next level, you're gonna have to prepare your crates.
Probably.
You can't just go into an event and just throw random songs. It's not gonna work out. I
You're
mean,
probably right.
I'll be honest. It's just not. All the headlining DJs
No,
prepare
I know.
their
Yeah,
set,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
so you can't go in there and
They
just
got
say
prepared for the light show. They got prepared for all the lights and shit like that to go with the music. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Francie says, "Don't get me wrong. I totally respect the DJ as they are the crooks of the party." Yeah,
Well, I wish more people would respect the DJ.
right, right. Yeah, you usually don't,
Yeah,
but it's okay. It's just you know, it's part of what we do. Um, yes, I do the
I
same.
love that too.
I guess she's referring to setting up a playlist.
Yeah,
And then it says mixing is an art. Yeah. Yep. It sure is. Um,
but you don't even have to mix in today. I mean, you can just play the songs that people want to hear, and you're a DJ, and that's it. It doesn't even matter anymore to some people, some places.
do bar managers, club managers, and all that? Do they ask you, could you bring a crowd? And how do you react to that? How do you answer that?
I get that question a lot when I try to book a residency or get myself into a venue. I do get what's your following? Can you bring people? Blah blah. I tell them, listen, this is my exact pitch. I tell everybody. I say, listen, I'm a DJ. I have X amount of followers on Instagram, X amount of followers on Facebook. I'll make a flyer for you. I'll promote it, but I can't guarantee I can bring one person into your venue. All I can do is promote it, share it, and hopefully people will come. But I can't guarantee that one person's going to come, 100 people are going to come, 50 people are going to come. That's what I tell them.
Got it. Hmm. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, I don't have any other questions, honestly.
There's got to be someone's got other questions. I'm sure.
I was gonna
Here.
ask you. I was gonna ask you a couple of songs or a couple of artists that you like now, and I was gonna put the videos up. I know you sent them to me before, but I didn't. I didn't do my homework and actually um, play have them ready to play. Could you tell us some of the artists that you're listening to now that you like or songs?
A Craze, Do It To It. James Hype, probably one of my favorite DJs right now, producers. His new song Disconnected is really good. Um, Fisher, Feels Tight. Um, S House, Love Tonight.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Is that a remix?
No.
Is that no? Is
It's
that that's a whole brand new song?
It's an original, yeah.
Yeah.
But Do It To It is not a brand new song. Do It To It he took from Cherish and just made a new song out of it.
Right. Yeah, we got a really long question or statement here from Steven. I'm just gonna pop it up so you guys can read it.
I agree when you actively download in mass amounts, it's hard to learn or listen to every song, but I think it's important to prep your grades, even if it doesn't matter to the venue. Build discipline and preps you for any worst case scenario. Yeah, I agree with you, Stephen. But for me, it works the way I do it. And yeah, once I do get to bigger venues, bigger things in my career, I probably will have to, really sit down and build a crate and build a proper crate and make sure I have XYZ songs in there and so forth and so on. But for the past 25 years, it's worked for me. And I don't know. I mean, it just works for me. I don't tell everybody. I don't tell anybody to do way I do it. I tell everybody to prepare your crates. Make your crates. Audition your songs, make a playlist, make your sets. So when you go play your venue, it's smooth. But this just works for me. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
He's
why it
got
works
another.
for me.
Yeah, he's got another question. Let me go ahead and pop that up, and we're gonna wrap it up right after this. We have one more question from Steven.
How to approach venues or owners when you're looking for a new gig, or does it fall in your lap more often? Honestly, I send them my press kit, my EPK, send them a website. I try to get a phone call or whatever, but mostly email works. Facebook message, Instagram, messaging the venues, or even if a friend of mine has an in somewhere, that could also help for you. But I tried going the in person route, and as a manager there, can I see the manager? Give him my card, and then the manager's busy. They throw your card away, and that when you walk out the door, they throw your card away. I've seen it in person. I walked out of the place, gave the lady my card, and I stood right there in the front door watching.
When they
She
throw
took the
it out.
card, throw the garbage. So I'm too old to waste my time and gas to go to every venue and try to get in a meeting with the manager, this and that. So either I go to the venue when my friend's playing or whatever, or I go have a friend of mine who's DJing there, network with him, and then hopefully maybe one day I can meet the manager, or I just get lucky.
Right. All right, Stephen J. Gray, good friend of mine, asked me, "What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while DJing a gig?"
Speakers blew up, caught on fire.
Speakers blew up, caught on fire.
Yeah. In DC, I was playing. I told this story a long time ago. I told this story a long time ago.
Yeah, tell us again.
In DC, I was DJing at a club, and this was back in 1992. when techno was like the biggest thing the biggest music around. It was all techno club. And when I went there, I told them that their sound was all faulty, this and that. They're like, "Oh no, it's not." Blah 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 blah. It's fine. So I'm like, all right. So jamming. I was like 4 in the morning. You know, peak hour. Jamming, banging, bass was fucking banging. Fucking woofers popped out of the fucking cabinets. Fucking fires came out of the cabinets.
Right.
Fucking the whole sound caught on fire. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That was awesome.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Dekade, thanks for coming to the show. Tell everyone how you can be reached.
DJDecade.com. Official DJ Decade on Instagram. Um, Facebook. It's what was my Facebook? It's Decade DJ Decade Blair.
Right.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Um, yeah.
Just type in Decade.
Just type
That's
in
it.
DJ Decade, you'll find me.
Yeah, you'll find it. All right, buddy. Well, thank you for joining the show, and I'll see you very, very soon on the next one.
Peace.
All right.